Hello, everybody. It's me, your pal, your friendo, Brandon. And it is once again time for the new releases show here at Variant Edition. I am joined by Jiminy. Squee is hanging out outside because he wouldn't stop screaming to be let outside. And I was like, all right, friend, out you go. And Kit is hanging out in the second room, chowing down on some snackos. Hello, hello, hello. And yes, this is young Miss Jiminy, a scant 18 years old in human years. Love her dearly. Cranky baby. And yeah. As has been pointed out, I say this a lot, one of my favorites. Have a lot of favorites. A lot of mostly when it comes to media, basically, but also with cats. Got many favorite cats. Also have less favorite humans. I keep those pretty tight, honestly. But how could you not love cats? Are you a communist? I hear communists don't enjoy cats. We have a stackaroo here for you today. Stackaroo, of course, was the creature behind the polka dot door on television's classic The Polka Dot Door, and would always say, Stackaroo, which is exactly how history worked on that account. I've had a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. It was pretty wild. One of the few 3-day weekends that I've actually gotten. And went down to see the family on Saturday, which was cool. Got to see my nieces, which was also cool. Took some selfies on the selfie wall in Innisfail, and generally dragged them around. I was pretty exhausted after that. But it was wonderful seeing family, of course, always. And then afterwards, I had more Thanksgivings with my girlfriend and her family. It has been pointed out to me by several people that my family is a little stranger than most, in that my parents have been divorced since I was quite young, and they generally have holidays together. They've always kept the families fairly close through everything. In the early days, it was more of my mom's work than my dad's, but these days, my dad is, of course, stepping up. So. And yeah, it was a good time seeing both of them. My girlfriend's parents have long been divorced and don't celebrate together, as most divorced families do. And it was great, honestly. A couple different flavors. Good time spent with family. I had a wonderful time. Met some folks. Encountered some haunted children. I say haunted children. My girlfriend's nieces are amazing. They're really cool, but they have haunted babies. I don't say this lightly. They had these kind of real doll things. Dolls. I would say life size. And they live in the uncanny valley, but they exist in real life. And my first encounter with one of them was when the family arrived, and one of the babies was kind of strewn on the couch. And I thought it was just a loose baby because the face was pretty real. And it was just lying there. And my brain goes, oh God, does no one realize this baby is loose? Unprotected. What if it wriggles? No. It was it was a doll, but I'm pretty sure trapped inside there is a soul of some kind. The eyes, I don't know how to describe it. It was pretty wild. A lot of great comments. Do I have a recommendation for you that I think you're really going to enjoy? Right on the top of the stack. Graphic novel. Yeah, for you. Well, I should probably get to stack. I'm going to do it. First one out the gate is D-Prog from Tina Horn, who did the series SFSX, known as Safe Sex. That series was about a near future where anything but, say, commitment, monogamy, and just the most basic of sex, anything outside of that is strictly illegal. Any kind of sex work, any kind of experimentation, any kind of anything is verboten, and people are jailed for it. It's an amazing series. This series, D-Prog, sort of takes Tina Horn's oeuvre as a very sex positive person and within their life, and melds it with like a lot of modern anxiety, and is queer as hell. Meet Tate Debs, a hard-boiled, hard-drinking, leather-loving dyke detective with an office in the back of Los Angeles' last video store. Tate specializes in rescuing and deprogramming people from abusive groups with extreme beliefs, like the one Tate herself escaped, that believed in interdimensional travel and taboo ritual sex. When a femme named Vera, who may just be a fatale, hires Tate to infiltrate a group of mystical hippies out in the desert, she must decide if Vera's charms are worth being re-traumatized. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. It definitely takes a lot of sort of like modern tropes of people really getting kind of brainwashed by their various brainworms and whatnot, but treats it sort of like a very queer crime noir story. I really, really enjoy it, and I think it's like right up your alley. And I think it's up a lot of people's alleys. This publisher is actually a very small press. And so I'm not sure when I'm going to get this back in stock again. So I ordered a bunch because Tina Horn is an amazing storyteller. Lisa Sturl, who is the artist on this, is also absolutely outstanding. It is, I believe, a complete femme team telling a story about a little bit about sexual revolution, a little bit about queer identity, a little bit about extracting yourself from these bad places in your mind where you can get caught up in sort of cult-like behavior and whatnot. It's absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend it. Is that the new Chuck Tingle thing? I recognize the name, but I'm not 100% sure. I know I'm doing things a little out of order today because usually I start with single issues. I'm doing a little bit of a sandwich today. All right. Heck yeah. I very much appreciate Chuck Tingle and their entire vibe and what they do, and just being an absolute beautiful weirdo. I think the world needs a lot more beautiful weirdos, and I do say that as a compliment and not as sort of like any kind of degradation. So I was at Westgate Meats today, and they had like a whole bunch of these like glass bottle Pepsis, like a case of 24 of them for, I think it was like $12.99. I was like, all right, All right, friends, you got me. So having fancy glassed Pepsi tonight. Ooh la la. All right, continuing with Ye Old Stacky, we've got the complete compendium for 7 to Eternity. This is what I would describe as high fantasy sci-fi. So not like hard sci-fi, definitely sci-fi with the setting, but definitely bleeds a lot more of the fantasy tropes with this gorgeous kind of detailed art all on the interiors from Rick Remender and Jerome Pena, with a couple issues by James Herron, who fits in with this wonderfully. The God of Whispers has spread an omnipresent paranoia to every corner of the kingdom of Zal. His spies hide in every hall, spreading mistrust and fear. Adam Osidius, a dying knight from a disgraced house, must choose between joining a hopeless band of magic users in their desperate bid to free their world of an evil god, or accepting his promise to give Adam everything his heart desires. Sorry. Definitely sort of like magic, mystical, big, grand storytelling that Rick Remender is absolutely amazing at, with a lot of sci-fi flavoring to it. I really like Rick Remender's stuff because he builds up tension and puts his characters in situations that you absolutely don't see them getting out of, and manages to build beautiful stories that he always knows the ending for. So there's a little bit of a story here. Brandon is a fancy cat boy tonight. Fake cat boy. And that goes back to I believe the first time Variant Edition was exhibiting at a cat show. So the store likes to go to shows that are outside of the normal comic book confines, because you can preach to the audience that already exists, or you can help build a new audience. And so we would go to cat shows, especially when we were a part used bookstore, and we'd have a lot of books featuring cats and a lot of comics featuring cats. We'd bring them there. And I was manning the booth by myself for a little while when an older woman came up to me, was looking at books, and goes, "So, at the cat show?" "Huh? Yeah, absolutely." She goes, "So, do you even own cats?" Which is a common trope in comic stores, what a lot of women experience when they go into comic stores, where dudes will be like, "Oh, do you even read comics, or are you a fake geek girl?" And just being hit with, "Do you even own a cat?" Was absolutely wonderful, and set off this social media back and forth. With a few of us, including this wonderful poster here, where we were going on and on about different things you could say to a person to like negate their cat cred, basically. It was absolutely wonderful. I loved everything about those exchanges. It was so much fun. Yeah, that's me, fake cat boy, man with 3 cats, and very recently accused by my girlfriend of being a crazy cat man. Where are the real books at? Yeah, I get that sometimes too. Do you have any real books? Why, yes, they are all real books. They exist in this reality. Something pretty wild today. This is featuring a local writer, somewhat local celebrity, Richard Van Camp, with Christopher Shy providing the art. This has, let's see if it has it on the back. I don't think it does. So this has been described as sort of more of an indigenous style Walking Dead. The Wet'sugo War, first volume Roth. Unless there is snow on the ground, never speak their name out loud. The more they eat, the hungrier they become, and they are starving. The revered hero known as the Child Finder, who is fighting to cling to his humanity after a Wet'sugo attack, forms an uneasy alliance with a mother, her young son, and a desperate band of convicts. Hoping to survive the Wet'sugo horrors now awakened. So begins the Wet'sugo War. The art in this does look like this. It's a local publisher as well. So you get a lot of this brilliant, moody imagery, and it's just teeming with atmosphere. I really enjoy this book. And all of these should be signed in short order because Richard Van Camp will be showing up, as he has said, as soon as he can. So I'm hoping to have these all signed for all of you very soon. Yeah, this is how a lot of this has gone. Oh, do you even know how to clean cat vomit off your new carpet? Do you even know about moving water is better than stagnant water? Name 5 famous cats. You start out with Heathcliff, and they punch you in the guts. Lyndon, I can absolutely do that for you. I meant to have literally anything that takes notes on me, including the thing that I bought specifically for taking notes. But then there's me. There's me doing me stuff. All right. Boop, boop, boop. So this tried to autocorrect it to Sheets-ago War. So kind of like half Mario talking about sheets ago, I guess, and half war. Awesome. I love that. Yes, absolutely. I can do that. Oh, honestly, Eric, I've been getting the teasing from my girlfriend currently as well. But all in good fun, honestly. One of the things that I get teased about is her question, and it's a valid question. If anybody in Gotham City ever kind of looks at the news and sees a new Robin and goes, does he have a new boy? Are we okay with how many boys this man has had hanging out with him fighting crime? Because this boy looks different than the other boys. And there's been a lot of them. And you know what? I can't argue with her. Batman has had a lot of boys. Bruce Wayne has had a lot of boys. And I'm pretty sure these days, at the very least, it should raise some questions. Sir, how many boys have you had? Like, even the Justice League. He shows up. A lot of them didn't know his identity. They kind of do now, but like a few of them have to be like, so what's with all the boys? There we go. Hi, Megan. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, and honestly, is that okay? I don't know. Speaking of boys, DC has been all month long been doing what they call their all-in launch. Now, I wasn't here last week to talk about it, but all of DC's books, if they're currently ongoing, have kind of new starts to them or new arcs, and as well as kind of launching some other new stuff. So I want to talk about them a little briefly up the top. This Batman and Robin has been taken over by Philip Kennedy Johnson, who is one of my absolute favorite writers. He is taking a different tactic on this book, which was more of sort of like a high octane actiony book. It still retains some of that, but is building in a good heap of kind of mystery procedural to it too. And I'm really excited about this. Yes, I understand. This might be lost on a lot of people, but there's a wrestler named Dalton Castle, who's has been on some of the bigger promotions, but is mostly known for some smaller promotions. And he is a very flamboyant young man who has in his custody who he calls boys. And these boys are like full-grown men who just wear peacock masks and are just very muscly. But they cater to his whims, basically. And so he'll do his whole spiel and he'll like hold out his hand and they'll like he'll sprinkle imaginary chicken feed and they'll like peck out of his hands. And they carry him around and all this kind of stuff. So that's sometimes what I hear when I hear boys. Just a weirdo. Not just a wrestling joke. Like, Batman does have too many boys. And we will be talking about that very soon. Samney is drawing a Batman and Robin book that I'll be coming up with very soon. Action Comics is also part of All In. And this one actually kicks off a very fast-moving series. It's coming out weekly till the end of the year, which is pretty freaking intense. Or I guess 4 times a month. Technically, there's 5 Wednesdays this month, so. But Mark Waid is doing the main story with Clayton Henry, and I think in a very cool bit, Mariko Tamaki, who has done a lot of absolutely amazing things in and out of comics and has like won Eisners and is like a huge luminary, is doing a Supergirl story with Skylar Partridge here in the back. So if you want to know what Supergirl's been up to, you will have that there. like birds, yeah. I like that. Hey, look at that. One of the producers of Skimmer Inc. is a customer. He's been very proud of that movie. Yeah, and just for the 12 weeks, they're doing something new in the new year. If that's too much, Eric, let me know. We can kind of fix that up for you properly. If you want to chill on that for a little bit and see what's happening in the new year. Yeah, I love Mark Waid. Good people. Beep, beep, beep. All right, I need to find the other all-in stuff because I might as well talk about these all at once, right? We also have the new arc of Wonder Woman happening. This Tom King run is continuing, but this one actually, you get to find out just how Wonder Woman has got a daughter in the future. And this kind of lays all of that bare and gives you sort of like the where things are going to go. It's pretty cool. I'm going to push past this one because it's got words in it, and I don't want the words to kind of block out what's happening here. Dee 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 dee. Oh, that's cool. I really like that. Pop culture news from our correspondent. I am a Trex. A T-Rex. Trex, I say because one of my, I say cousins. So my family collects people. My family collects people, and one of my uncle's many girlfriends over the years, significant others, had a young son who had some developmental problems, and I loved that kid. He was so fun. I would often babysit him, and we were pretty good friends. And he wanted a dog, and they got a dog, and he named him Trex after a T-Rex. And so my brain automatically is just like, Trex. Ah, yes, I remember Trex. Such a good boy. Hey, yeah, and no apologies. I like it when people are sharing the news that they're excited for. And that's kind of the comic shop experience, kind of the experience that we're going for with the show, is to just share the things that you enjoy and to talk about some awesome things that are happening. Also, new arc here is Titans, which has a new creative team of John Layman, who I absolutely love, and Pete Woods, who is really amazing. I'm really excited to see where the Titans go from here, because Tom Taylor was the main creative force behind the previous run. They had a few different artists near the end there. Got a little muddy. And I know a lot of people who are considering whether or not they want to continue. Well, I'm going to be reading this tonight to kind of let you folks know where the team's going. But what I really love about the Titans is they're such a positive team that are trying to be uplifting and trying to just do the best, even under hard moral circumstances. And I just really love that. Now, we were talking about Somni a little earlier in terms of Batman and his boys. We have Batman and Robin Year One that Mark Waid and Chris Somni are doing together. There's a 12-issue miniseries that goes back to the beginning of Batman and Robin, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, and is going to give sort of that beautiful classical take. And like Somni's art is always absolutely stunning. I love what I'm seeing in the pages of here. I definitely want you folks to see the beauty of this, because you can see this is a very clean, very classic style, but is done in a very kinetic and modern way, where a lot of the older books would be a little more static than what you'd find now, and a little more stilted. And this is absolutely fantastic, and it looks gorgeous. Oh, I cannot wait to be digging into this a little bit later today. Yeah. Eric, I will make that happen. Just gonna add that to the list. Da, 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 da. Oh, and because I am who I am, A, I didn't call this out specifically because I was in show mode. B, I do like to overshare. Let me see. For those of you who didn't get the implication, hi Megan. That's my girlfriend. You've been called out. Enjoy. She's wonderful people. I like her quite a bit. Previews for all right. Well, I also want you to know that I still have copies of Absolute Batman, even though the internet is going cuckoo bananas and we've been seeing folks from everywhere. Other stores seem to not have any more of these. Absolute Batman is absolutely wonderful. Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, it is telling a story in a new DC universe where things haven't kind of worked out in, say, the superhero's favor. And what I really like about this is a lot of the comic book superhero universes sort of live and die on how they were founded. To that end, DC's superhero universe really started out the end of kind of the World War II era. And so you have a lot of superheroes who are very upstanding, very moral, and as described by a former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, DC Comics are full of cops. And it kind of goes like along the line, like Flash is a literal cop. Green Lantern, space cops, Superman, kind of a cop in a lot of ways. This superhero universe is being founded today. So you have a lot of reflections. So in this series of Batman is not a billionaire. He's actually coming from not having any resources, having to struggle to live and survive, and seeing these structures that help out these billionaires at the detriment to the people who are just trying to live. And it's really, really good. I absolutely love the energy of this book, that it recognizes the shift in society and is a great reflection of that. Scott Snyder, the writer, has talked about how he was kind of thinking about his kids and how they're not going to grow up worshiping billionaires. They're going to be worried about trying to live, trying to be good people within the structure that kind of rewards bad behavior and what to do to push against it. And so that's where the superhero version is at. And what I really like about it is it definitely reflects a lot of the fears of the modern era, including Batman's origin, which does trigger warding, emerge a bit from a school shooting type situation. So it does kind of build in that layer of like things that we're dealing with right now. And it's pretty wild. So, and Eric, I'm going to make sure to double check that you've got one of these in your file, because I don't want for you to miss out on the off chance. We've got what looks like a blank book. The reason why is because this is the first issue of Batman Full Moon, which has glow in the dark cover, baby. It's gimmick time. I love it so much. This being written by Rodney Barnes, art by Stevan Subik, who did the Riddler Year One story arc, written by Paul Dano, who played the Riddler in the latest Batman movie. An ancient and supernatural force stalks the streets of Gotham City, a werewolf so powerful it'll defy Batman's most trusted resources, his brilliant mind and his extensive gadgetry. But are Batman's physical strength and resilience alone enough to put the creature down for good, or will this fight strip him down to his very bones? Even powerful magical allies like Zatanna caution the Dark Knight that he may not be able to walk away from this encounter unscathed. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. Send my best to Devin. All right. Let's get to some of these other books. You know what? Since I'm grouping these things together, I'll put some Marvel stuff at the end here, and I'll sandwich everything with some independent stuff. We have Where Monsters Lie. This is the graphic novel collection of the first arc, and this is the start of the second arc. I absolutely love Where Monsters Lie. It is a Kyle Starks, who I know Sean out there really, really enjoys. Well, one of the best writers out there, honestly, because he can do funny and he can do scary and he can do action and just make them all work together. All these different tones kind of ping-ponging around. I really love it. So this is described as a brand new meta horror story that's Cabin in the Woods meets Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Haven't you always wondered what slasher monsters, like the masked home invasion family, the mindless unkillable monster, the serial killer trapped in a doll, what they do for those couple of years in between their murder sprees? Well, they're at Wilmhurst, a gated community in the middle of nowhere where they relax or try to until they get the call to go out and kill again. Connor Hayes survived his first slasher in summer camp. A handful of years later, he's barely escaped a psychopath who built torture puzzles for his victims. Since then, he's been training and planning for running into these creatures again. He's a respected special agent, and now he knows where these monsters lie, and he's planning for war. So it is basically like this community where they do their off time, and there's like a little bit of admin so that you don't have all the slashers doing other things all at once. You don't have them killing at home. You just have these problems out and about, and then you have them doing their off time. It's really good. I really, really love it. As Sean says, this one's a gooder. Funny, but très dark. Right, that reminds me. This weekend, King of Tarts had posted that they were making some bacon jalapeno cheddar croissant. And I messaged them saying like, hey, if you have any left after this weekend of the farmers markets that they do, I would love to buy the rest. I just love the sound of it. And all their stuff is vegan. So when I say jalapeno cheddar bacon croissant, it's all vegan, baby. And they make their food so good. I am not a vegan, but they do like these delicious creamy tarts that you can have. Their sausage rolls are absolutely to die for. Everything they do is absolutely amazing. You would never know that they're vegan. No butter, no whatever. Flaky as hell. Absolutely amazing. Love their stuff. And I brought it to one of the Thanksgiving meals, and I couldn't stop saying croissant because one of the YouTube shows that I watch gets sponsored by like a food thing every now and then, and one of the presenters, when they're doing the ad reads, will always be like, you get your normal food, and if you use the promo code blah blah blah, you will get free croissant. And it gets stuck in my head, and I couldn't not do it because I am a freaking weirdo. Yeah, that's me. An awesome weirdo. All right, I'm going to be quickly looking up the descriptors of these so that I get them right, because I only got sort of like the vague memories of what these babies are about. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da. If I can get room from behind the Jiminy. Well, sure. Don't look for the book that I'm looking for. Freaking rude. Rude is what this is. Oh. Maybe I should be in the right spot. Maybe that, Brandon. Maybe you should do your job. You ever think of that? No? It's because you're bad at your job? First off, rude. Why would you say that to me? It's a long one today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. To be fair, I'm talking about last week's stuff too. We have Vicarious from... you know what? I'm going to hold off on that because they always say it anyways. Enter Justin, an aimless 20-something desperate for human connection and excitement. After a dangerous encounter reveals itself as a fortuitous opportunity, Justin finds just what he's looking for in the secret world of proxies. Young, pretty, ambitious hustlers like himself who allow the rich to access their feelings and experiences through a technological implant. But does Justin have what it takes to make it in this seductive new world? New York Times best-selling and fan favorite Mighty Morphin Power Rangers writer Ryan Parrott debuts his first original comic and is joined by acclaimed artist Eleonora Carlini, who's done Marauders and Radiant Black, for this brand new original sci-fi psychological thriller. Stalling for time. That is what we do. We have Godfather of Hell. Dario Santini has lived a charmed life as an enforcer and debt collector for mob boss Nicola Mincini. Italia. He's had it all: respect, power, and even the love of a good woman. But everything changes when he crosses a line and is shot dead on the sidewalk. Waking up in hell, Dario faces a future of pain and suffering, unless he can turn eternal damnation into a business opportunity. Neo-noir hellfire from New York Times bestselling Kevin Scott, who's done a lot of the Star Wars High Republic stuff, and Bram Stoker Award-winning artist Piers Back, who's done Eat the Rich and has done a graphic novel for The Magicians, the book series and TV show, as done work for Stranger Things. This is a Vault Comics book, which automatically means I'm ordering a few copies for shelf regardless, because Vault, A, are amazingly good people, and B, put out awesome, fun books. I'm really excited to dig into that and go from there. We have The Exorcism at 1600 pen. This is, as you might be able to tell, a bit of a horror story about the halls of power in the United States, and some spooky stuff that's happening. I love Vanessa Del Rey's art. It is absolutely amazing and expressive. Hannah Rose May is telling a story that kind of both takes in some inherent misogyny that happens at the halls of power in general, and mixes it with this sort of this creeping satanic panic feel that's been happening in cycles, I guess, because it happened more like in the 70s, 80s, and it's happening again now. And it is, it looks gorgeous, and I'm very excited to keep going with that. Hey, thank you. I very much appreciate that. Me being happy makes me happy too. It would, though. I've got Crypt of Shadows. This is a yearly one-shot that Marvel does that focuses on their spookier eras. This does have a bit of a tie-in with some stuff happening in Scarlet Witch, but also hits on a bunch of different little one-shots here. We've got writers Chris Condon, Benjamin Percy, Jason Liu, a bevy, a trio of up-and-coming creators in the comic scene. And something to pick up for spooky season if you're looking for a little taste of something. We have Aliens versus Avengers, the reprint of the first issue that is taking the world by storm. Jonathan Hibbins writing, Isad Ribic is doing the art. This book was freaking amazing and delivers on the premise. Friends, aliens from the movies versus the Avengers from comics and from the movies. We have Marvel doing a spy book in the X-Men universe, with Declan Shelby doing the writing and the art for a Mystique 5-issue miniseries. If you know Declan Shelby's work from doing Old Dog and from the amazing Moon Knight series that helped inspire the TV show, then you're absolutely going to love this. He is definitely great at spy work. He is from Ireland, which I just visited recently, and is very cool. Avengers, Aliens vs. Avengers is a 4-issue mini-series. Issues seem to be coming out once every 3 to 4 months. but they're big, thick, meaty issues, and they are freaking gorgeous. It's ridiculous. We also have finally Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, which earlier today I was talking with young Gregory, my boy at the store. I don't know how he'll take that, but whatever. Our wonderful part-time employee who's absolutely amazing, and would find that joke funny and not weird. I will say that. I was talking with him today that my brain kept going Fist of Honkshu, as though I'm a cartoon character going Honkshu, Honkshu. I am more of a Honkshu and less of a snore. Me, 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 me. You know, the two types basically of sleepers, the Honkshu and the me, 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 me. Finally, I'm going to talk about two things for spooky season. One is this very creepy book called Sink. This is in memory of long lost Mr. Andrew Foley. He's not dead, by the way, but I think he would find it funny that I called him the long lost, dearly departed Andrew Foley. Sink, the first volume. This is one of Foley's absolute favorite books. It is so creepy. It is very weird. A forgotten East End district of a warped funhouse mirror version of Glasgow, Scotland. Sink Hill is a hive of crooks, deviants, and killers, and ordinary folk unfortunate enough to live among them. If killer clowns prowl the streets in a blue van, a shovel-wielding vigilante in a fox mask serves as brutal vengeance after dark. And the last bus home is always full of corpses. You must be in Sink Hill. And finally, this actually goes back to a story that happened to me in Ireland. Some of you might have remembered me talking about how when I was watching my niece and the host family's daughter, who is also one of my youngest niece's age, they were playing kitchen for a little bit, and the other young lady was bringing me a chicken leg, fake chicken leg, and she's like, "You have to eat all of it." And so I go, "Even the bone?" She goes, "Especially the bones." Okay, so eat. Do the uncle thing where I'm just like, oh god, bones. Gets a kick out of it. So she brings me a piece of cake. She's like, "Here's a piece of cake. You have to eat it all." So okay. Start eating it. She goes, "The cake has bones in it." So again, I'm just like, big kick. And so she just keeps bringing me things: hot sauce, butter, an apple. They've all got bones in it. Everything has bones in it. Everything I eat has bones in it, which when you're playing a game is fun, but out of context, everything that I eat has bones in it is very creepy. Well, speaking of everything has bones in it, there's the Cemeterians, which is a freaking absolute creep show, and one of my favorite books of the past year. Some things won't stay buried. After human bones begin growing inside inanimate objects across the globe, a renegade scientist and a brilliant theologian delve into the cemeteries where the bodies originated, discovering an otherworldly force tired of being buried in darkness. So this is this brilliant mix of the scientist and this theologian who has dug into all these different religions and all this kind of stuff, and really comes at things from a very spiritual place. Both of them tackling this horrific problem from two different angles. So you get this well thought out thing while this horror is happening in this world all around. It is absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed this book. And it starts out actually with a scene from Calgary, I believe. Calgary, Canada, where a young girl is getting an MRI, and they have to stop the thing, and they open up her teddy bear, and there's just bones inside of it. And they're like, "What is going on here?" and the things proceed from there. So also a really kind of weird local tie. Cemeterians, absolutely creepy for spooky season. That is ye old Stacky today. You know what? I am going to do it this time. If I can get this over here. There we go. It's the time of the show where I look out and I see all the wonderful people who are out there and say thank you for watching today. If you want to see if I can see through the magic mirror, please make sure that you comment before too long so that I can say hi and see you through this magic mirror, which is absolutely real and something that we came up by ourselves. No one else has ever done anything like this before. Everyone remember, please clap, because the mirror demands fealty and blood. I'm looking out, I'm seeing a weird random comment from Judge Holden on YouTube. It's just of a chalice. Thank you. Not weird. I'm looking out and seeing I am a T-Rex. I am Trex. Thank you for showing up today. It was really cool. I'm looking out and seeing Bryce. Hello, Bryce. I'm looking out and I'm seeing Ben. Hi, Ben. It is great to see you too, by the way. Looking out and seeing Sean. Hey, Sean. I'm also seeing Lyndon. Hey, Lyndon. I'm seeing Eric. Hey, Eric. I'm seeing Megan. Hi. And I think that's all. Off it goes. Well, Jim and I thank you for being here today. A classic, almost an hour long, like we usually do. Build-A-Bears in Calgary are apparently trying to be super realistic. I like that take. All right, folks. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's been wonderful. Really felt a good groove today, which I really like as well. Wondering why my computer doesn't seem to be charging. I don't like that. But hey, we'll see how that goes. All right. Pokeroo. Heck yeah. I went to see the Polka Dot Door when I was a kid live. It was wild. The Pokeroo was there. Oh my God. Super cool. I got to see a lot of chill people when I was a kid. Sharon Lewis and Bram sang some bangers. Mr. Dress Up tried on some clothes. Hanging out with Casey and Finnegan like you do. Saw a Sesame Street thing as well. I remember that. Charlotte Diamond, which is like maybe more of a local thing. The folks from Ballooner Landing, also probably more of a local thing. Man, I saw a lot of cool people when I was young. Fred Penner. Yeah. Seen all of the cool concerts when I was a kid. Also saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in concert. There's actually radio of me talking about that experience that I'll share if folks want. Just ask me and I'll send you off a link. All right. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to y'all again soon. And I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you all have a great week ahead. I hope I see you in store and around and about. We'll see y'all soon. Maybe one of you especially. Bye.